herself just said to me, which is true, the subject itself cannot be exhausted in one of our regular 2 hour, hour and a half.
Is it alright to record? Is it alright to record?
No, we don't stream.
Not stream, but record.
Any? That's a good opinion. It's fine. No problem. Yeah, that the time span, the duration, this requires, it's so vast, and so much that you can unpack. Many of the things that we are talking about anyways are like that, but especially this one too. Because of course, much of the other things are like to feed into this. And as let's say, money makes the world turn like that, and the power of money is one of the reasons why we have some of the other hurdles that we have, so that power can be maintained. So this is big, it's wide, and will take us more time than a session, and even worse, the smaller we're now just doing a half session. So we'll definitely run this again another time, or continue some other time. Even if not the next session, we'll come after. Alright? So the financial industry, the financial system, whatever terms you want to use. And again, we can't exhaust it, so we're going to just see what we can cover in the half hour. Let's bow our heads and pray, and we will go forward. Lord, we give you thanks for your wisdom, your leading. We pray that you will lead and guide our session today. Again, give us understanding, clarity of mind, and as we put our thoughts together and we hear even from others as to their knowledge, what they know on the global landscape of things, what's happening in our world, things that can help us open our eyes. We may not be the type to tune into different websites or sources of whatever kind to find some of these things, but knowing that our brethren have an understanding or a word that they can share and help us to put things together to be in a better perspective than just share ignorance. We are thankful for this. I pray you lead and guide and help our session to be productive. We pray in Jesus' name. So, just a few pointers I would throw there. Some those who know already, just to get the thoughts going and prompt to lead into our discussion. And then I'll turn over to Sister Heidi to bring some more meat on it. Now, with the information age that we have come into, I don't know, this era where information is so readily available to the masses, you can find out things, you can know stuff. They censor information, you will cut off what the other avenue that will pop up to present this information. Some of the things that we are learning about money, very interesting. One, for instance, is more and more people are realizing the whole complexity of the global financial system, as complex as it is, but are also realizing how the average person, like ourselves, at the bottom of the ladder, the bottom of that funnel, that pool of information, where for years, much of what we have thought to be just normal stuff, or just routines when it comes to money, and there's money, you earn money, and you spend money, you save money, and you get money, you put up money for time, this, and you house, and that. All sorts of things is about money. But more and more people are realizing so much of it is not what we've thought all the time, and not that people are wising up to it. People are approaching money differently. People are approaching money with different understanding of how to deal with money, what money really is and what it's not, who says it and all this kind of stuff. Some of the things, for instance, one, our eyes are now being open to the fact that, wait now, it is true that we have not been all of what they taught us in school over all the years. They don't teach us about money and earning money, making money, and that kind of stuff. They don't teach us about finance, at least not in the way that will make us prosperous in any sense. The system is designed for us to always be serving a master in the world. And the master gets wealthy at our expense, and that's how the system is designed. And so traditionally, we know that we are supposed to go to school, learn whatever they teach us and do well, so that we can enter the working world, and we can go through that system, trying to climb the corporate ladder, earning and whatever and all of that, so that we can this and pay bills and this and that and all that kind of stuff. And more and more people are waking up to realizing it's a false concept that we have been given. False concept we have been given. While many others have been, well, many, a few, I don't know, but sections of the population who have been doing otherwise for years, because they know and they've always known otherwise. Then another thing that we want to consider is how the fact that when it comes to money and the finance of the world, it really is just tossed up, down, left, right, and center at the will and discretion of groups of people in power, whether for political mileage, for whatever it is, and all these financial terms that the layman is hearing of, inflation and recession and whatever, all of these things are to a large extent manipulated, and driven by people who know what they're doing to make it happen a particular way for a certain outcome. And we just roll with the punches as it is. So, when that is what is happening right around us, and has always happened, but in the age of information, more and more people are waking up to this reality that there are players, who control the financial system of the world, and control the money of the world to determine what you get or don't get and how you do whatever. How then does the Christian, the child of God, positions himself or herself for living in this world while keeping our eyes on the true Christ heaven? What do we do? How do we make heads or take from tails of what is going on around us? Are we to just swept into whatever goes? We keep our eyes open on what's happening, the knowledge of what's going on in the financial system, so that even areas where we may not have control or we may not have the power to seek redress or to address it in a particular way, we at least know and have an understanding. And so in our little space, we can approach money the right way and not be just pawns, in the hands of these players. Alright? So, remember, as the folks said, Pastor Frank can't go for 15 minutes, so I'm going to end here. So I'm going to give Sister Rhonda a chance to bring some of, and we know Sister Rhonda very well, whose expertise is in finance and this kind of matters and so on. She has done well over the years to try to educate the church and the public community and wherever she's called, to share her knowledge and so on and so on. But I imagine that even beyond what she would have been taught, she herself would have found and learned on her own much more to be able to now know what she should tell her church and how she should guide people who do not know as much as she does for these last days where money is concerned. And so I bring on Sister Rhonda at this time to lead us in this part of the presentation.
I didn't know I was preparing inside and doing something. So I'm going to pick up my bag and I put my work another flow, right? That people may be able to follow along. what the Bible says. And if we were to go down that road, things may go good for a while, but there's going to be a sting, right? So what I want to start by doing is just giving some history of money. And by doing that, you will understand a little better why some of the things that the world recommends is not what the Bible recommends and what we should not be doing. Fair enough?
Yeah.
I hope I could do it without a graphic or so, but we will try. Right? So let's just pray. Father in heaven, we thank you, Lord, for the opportunity where we can come together and study, Lord, and we can look at what is happening in the world, see where you are leading, and Lord, see where we can learn what we should and shouldn't be doing. Father, I pray that you will be with me this afternoon, especially, Lord, since I didn't prepare for this before. And I pray that, Lord, you will touch every person here, touch your brain, touch your mind, so that you will let go of what we currently know and be open to what your word says. So may your Holy Spirit take charge this afternoon and be with each and every one of us in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, a lot of what I need, the Lord himself knows. Right? If you were to ask, even though I teach confidence and finance, no people don't even know it. Right? I teach it. I never studied it. Lord taught me, and from what the Lord taught me, I did the examination and stuff.
Wow.
And what taught me. Right?
It doesn't pass the instant. It doesn't pass the instant.
To the power of the Lord, right?
Amen.
So, a lot of what I am going to share, like I said, was only somebody what himself. First of all, let's understand money. What is money? It's a means of exchange. And it's a means of exchange only as much as we trust what that means is. For example, if I talk to my sister Charmaine, I like her bar, I'm going to get thanks to his first. No, would you like that transaction? No, why not? Stones have no back. No. But time in the past, stones had happened. Right? People would use stones, they would use feathers, and all kinds of things of exchange because they were valuable to them at that time. That was called bartering. Right? So you had something that I want, I have something that you want, you would give it an exchange. You have, I have. Right? Times moved on, and of course, we went to things like, we find sometimes that with bartering, I may want something, I can't find somebody who wants what I have to give me what I need. So it's coming as a little standardization. Things like salt or like animal skins to make clothes. Anything that everybody needs, it became a little more standardized. And then as time went on, they started to use things like precious metals, they had coins, things like the silver coins, the gold coins. And this is where now some control started. Because when we had the coins, the gold and the silver, of course, that was heavy. People can't really work about that. So you found that what people started to do, they would let the goldsmiths keep them. And the goldsmiths would just issue for them receipts. Right? So Sister Charmaine, I'm not looking at you right here. Sister Charmaine really took a gold and give her receipts saying, you have to announce of gold when you get the fridge and come to the treasury and get it. But the goldsmiths were a little smart. And this is where our current financial system is based on. It's based on something called fractional reserve lending. Here's how it works. So everybody puts a little bit of the gold in the treasury, in the bonds, goldsmiths will keep it. They issue all these receipts. These receipts, people recognize that, okay, I can take my receipts to the treasury anytime, to the bonds anytime, to the gold anytime, and get my money back. So you found that instead of going and getting the gold and going around, they started to trade with the IOUs. That's where the paper notes first started. The first paper notes that were issued, at the back of them was written, issued at the front written, deposited in the treasury of whatever country, so much in gold to be redeemed at the treasury whenever you land. Right? So people realized that, okay, instead of going and getting gold, they started to trade these pieces of paper. That's when the paper money started. So people were trading with the paper, and the gold now is staying in the vault. But the goldsmiths realized, but wait, this gold in the vault, nobody will be coming for this gold. So you know what? We can start lending out. So they recognized, okay, maybe only 1 in 10 people come in to get the gold. So you know what? I can start to lend out because I know Charmaine coming out, Tushana coming out, Marina coming out. So I will lend their gold. And before they come for it, people will pay back with interest. So that's what they started to do. And that's how our current financial system is based. So when you put money in the bank is not required to keep all of your money. The bank is only required to keep up portion of your money. In Trinidad and Tobago, they require to keep 17%. In the United States, they require to keep 10%. So it means that if Sister White here deposits $100 in the bank, I'm using the US system Cbdc calculation, right? Because 70% kind of have to calculate on the run, right? So if Sister White puts up $100 in the bank by law is required to keep just $10. So they have $90, which they call excess reserve. So the reserve, what they have to keep is $10, and they have excess. What do you think they're going to do about that excess? Send it out at interest. So they can lend $90. So Anne-Marie could come and borrow that 90, right? And they only required to keep how much now from Anne-Marie's 90?
10.
Right, so she borrowed and deposit in another bank. They only required to keep $9 and can now lend out 81. But we have a little problem now because Sister White put $100. Sam was the only one who moved $100. When she put that $100 in, they're lending out 90 to Anne-Marie. Suppose they lend to Anne-Marie and Sister White come back for 100. You have a little problem, right? You're following me, right? So the thing is, banks create money by lending, by debt. So the more we borrow, is the more banks can create money. When you hear the word fiat, I don't know if you remember the word fiat currency, right? Meaning money out of thin air. That's exactly what it is. Because there is no gold to back it, there is no currency to back it. It is just because somebody made a deposit, I can now lend 90% of it and make interest on that 90%.
Is this, I have a bank. I can lend out 10 million.
Yes, you can
I can lend out 10 times the amount that
no, you can lend out 90%.
90% of what I have.
Yeah.
Right.
And that 90% again goes borrows and deposits and 90. So it
It's
perpetuates
just paper, yeah.
where basically you just making money, right? So if it is everybody who borrowed money, deposited in the bank, right? That means you are losing your anywhere. But at the same time, everybody wanted their money at the same time. You think they could all get the money? No, because it doesn't exist. And that is what is called a bank run. And we've had it here in Trinidad. We've had what you call like a bank run, where in the time when Clico, right, was when he was used to be up with Clico, Republic Bank, because it's linked with Clico, right, people started to go to Republic Bank, and everybody wanted their money from Republic Bank, and they couldn't get their money from Republic Bank. Well, why they say they couldn't? Republic Bank put a limit. This is in square.
Was it Republic or
Republic. And they said you could only withdraw $5,000 in cash, right? Because they knew that they didn't have enough cash if everybody suddenly descended and wanted money. It happened in 2013 in Cyprus and Greece. And in Greece, what they had to do, they literally had to shut down all the ATM machines and shut all the banks for 2 days because people just took the money and there was a run on the money and there wasn't enough money, right? So this is what could happen. The other thing is that, again, legally, when you put your money in a bank, that money no longer belongs to you. Now, this is a serious one, and this is law, right? What happens in this case? Okay, you ever realized when you put money in the bank, you get interest, right? Well, you're supposed to get interest. Right? But I'm not talking about the biblical, talk about what happens in society, right? You get interest. Now think about it. When do you pay interest? When you borrow, right? When you borrow money, you pay interest. It's paying you interest. What does that imply? That the bank is borrowing money from you, not so? In other words, it is considered that you have lent the bank money. So it is now the bank's money. The same way when you borrow and the bank gives you $5,000 that you borrow, they can't tell you what to do with $5,000, correct? Because you borrow, it is now yours. So the same way when you put money in the bank, it is considered a loan to the bank. It is now the bank's money to do whatever they want to do with. And they pay you interest because you borrowed the money, because they borrowed money from you. That's why interest is paid. Right? Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's the amount that you have, but now you have to get to the charger. So you no longer get any dividend on your money.
Okay, in fact,
So,
correct.
so
You have to pay them.
you pay that now.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, most times you actually pay the bank to keep your money.
Yes,
That's
it's
what
what you
it's
said.
right?
Or you pay them.
So the thing is, money doesn't belong to you. No, I'm telling you all these things for you to keep in mind what the world recommends in terms of how we use money, in terms of what the Bible recommends. Because, for example, the world will tell you, keep your money and use other people's money. That's not biblical. Right? Not biblical. Right? And there's a reason for it. When in 1929, the Great Depression, there were a lot of people who had a lot of money in the banks. And what they did, decided to do exactly that, use other people's money. So, I have $50,000 and I want $50,000 from it. So I would put $50,000 to say buy a business. What they would do is they would go and deposit the money in the bank and borrow $50,000 and use that borrowed money to get the business. Then the Great Depression came and they had this big crash. They call it the Black Friday. With that crash, the banks shut. It means that when the bank shut, they had no access to their money. But when banks shut, there is something that happens automatically. There's a hierarchy in terms of which when a bank goes into receivership or when a bank is shut down and the government takes over, there's an order in which they pay out, they pay out all the people that have interest in the bank. Creditors are low down, well, the creditors are higher, depositors are low down. So you found that what happened then, people with their monies in the bank, because creditors are high up to be called in, the banks call you on loans. So they call in the loans, and the people are saying, well, we have the money in the bank, so you can, take the $50,000 and buy off the debt. But no, because depositors are low down. So they didn't reach the depositors yet to see if you even get back your $50,000. So you have to pay. And you don't have to pay, they seize your property. And when they eventually reach to pay you, they will tell you, well, we don't have enough money now after paying off everybody else. So you get back, instead of your $50,000, you might get back a 5 or a 10. And a lot of people lost a lot of money. So that principle of using other people's money, not scripture. Yes, sir.
2009 with Greece, you have $100,000 in the bank, it boils down, they take $40,000 out of it. Your money is not your money. They told the whole of Greece, you have too much money on the 100,000, the bank have to take 40,000 out of your money and they can't do nothing about it.
Right. And the principle of that is this. Before, there was a case where they would say when banks go bad, they would do bailouts. Right? So they would bail out, the government would step in and they would pay money and bail out the banks. After what happened in Cyprus, right?
2013.
Yeah, what happened in Cyprus, they decided now to change things around. So it no longer will bail out anybody. They have what they now call bail-ins. What is a bail-in? A bail-in is where government doesn't help anymore, but the depositors at the bank, they will use their money. So this is what happened. So in Cyprus, what they did is the people with the higher, greater deposits, they took a greater percentage of their deposits, they took it. Can't do anything about it, right? So the idea of the money in the bank doesn't belong to you. And that is lower. Right? I think it's 40 versus 48. We did it here before. We went to the full. I look at some here today who were not present for that, right? So that's some of the principles. Some of the principles will be how money is created by debt. The other principle is the money in the bank is not yours. And the other principle is with each transition of the monetary system, there has been more control. So when there was bartering, nobody could tell me that I can't give Trisha 5 stones for Trisha's bag. If Trisha won the 5 stones, nobody could get between that. When it was the case of the paper money, the IOUs, again, I am transacting with whoever chooses to say that the monetary system is solid, and they say that they trust the IOU, so they take it. So more control had to be brought in. And with the control, so you found that you went from the IOUs to where the government would actually change it to say there is deposited, right, but no guarantee of getting it back, to where it is now just written as a federal note, right? which is why the government could do anything with the money, including telling us that we're going to change all the $100 bills and you have to bring them in or you will lose them. Right? Or like in India, where overnight they said, okay, we're going to unput it and found that all the high notes are no longer in circulation. Sorry, tough, that's the law. Right? Can't do anything about it. Even now, I think they said, somewhere in Africa, right? They're changing over the monetary system. Right, one of the countries in Africa, they're just changing the monetary system. People are struggling because now they could get only a very little amount from the ATMs and people can't function, right? So now our money is at the whim and fancy of the government. But that's still not good enough. Because we know we are approaching a time when we can buy and sell, right? And the only way you can control what somebody buys and sells, of course, is if you control the means by which they buy and sell, which is controlling the money, right? So there is to be a new system. So the current system, that fiat currency, that money created out of thin air, that money created by debt, is being done away with, and the new currency being brought in, which will be the Cbdc, Central Bank Digital Currency. Now, we use digital currency right now, right? Most of us would have a links card or a credit card, or some of us may even do online banking. Very convenient, very nice, very easy. That's all fine and good. Relatively safe, because you can't have people hacking. I have had cases already on our credit card, you use them at a merchant, and by the time you return, the card is full, right? Because people hack and, understand that, right? So relatively safe. But that's not good enough, because you cannot have complete control still, right? Because you always have the underground currency. Even that, think about it even with US dollars, right? You always have that black market, that underground thing that people could still do transactions. So this is the whole idea now with the bringing in central bank digital currency. What is it really? It's a form of digital currency, but the difference is you don't have the middleman, you don't have the bank. You wouldn't have the RBC and the FCB and the you go straight from you to the central bank.
All central banks are global.
Right. Well, not all yet, but all get in there. All get in there. It's about 90%.
2016, Obama said that it's a done deal.
Will be done. Right? It will be a done deal. Right? So, what is happening now? So these digital currencies, decentralized digital currencies. What is so hard about them? And I would have done this, I think in June or July last year. The idea is the control, and I'm going to use the same example I used last year because it's a really good example. What happened in Canada? In Canada, last year, 2022, there was an issue with the truckers that carry goods from the US to Canada. The truckers did not want to be vaccinated. The US said, Canada said you had to be vaccinated, right? They said no, so they had a big thing in Ontario, they all pooled there and they said no. The president, Justin Trudeau, said, if you do it, you're going to cut off your supplies. And not only cut off your supplies, anybody who's helping you. Right? And that's what they did. They were able to cut off their credit cards, their links cards, their business accounts, their savings accounts, their checking accounts, their insurances, everything they were able to shut down. They were also able to tag all the people who helped them. The people who helped them, first of all, by bringing their trucks to form the blockades, they were able to track all those people through their number plates. They were able to track all the people who helped them when the government shut down all their financial support. There were people who were helping them by either depositing or by giving them, the GoFundMes. They were doing GoFundMes. All the people who helped them, they shut them down as well. Right? Now, how were they able to do that? They were able to do that because as of 2016, I think, the World Bank has a project where every person on the globe is going to have a unique identifier, a unique ID. And so everything is going to be linked to this unique ID. And it's already here in Trinidad. Remember when we had our new certificates, and we had that PIN? Right, that PIN is linked everywhere. They started the project, They have got quite a bit. And if you recognize, our passports have changed, right? Our driver's permits, well, they're now driver's licenses have changed. Our ID cards have changed. We now have the QR codes and all these different things, right? They are all being put together with this unique identifier. So it means that once I have one thing on you, right? Because your ID number, your driver's permit number, your license plate, I know linking you with this unique identifier, have everything on you. So I could shut you out of the system very easily, right? And it's here. And it's here, right? So what is happening now with the CBDCs, that is one thing that is going to be linked as well to this unique identifier. The CBDCs, however, what makes them different now, it's a type of cryptocurrency. So we all know about, I think we all know about things like Bitcoin and so, those are cryptocurrencies. The idea behind cryptocurrency was to keep things separate from the government and where you could do things privately and secretly, right? Well, the government recognized, governments around the world, let's say, recognized that a lot of people were going into these cryptocurrencies and they couldn't track and trace what they were doing. So you know when they say they can't beat them, join them? Yep. So the CBDC is a type of cryptocurrency as well, right? And as of, let's just say, let's see we get it here in the year. The majority of the world, over 90%, have already started, either they have tested it, they are in the process of putting it together, or in some form or fashion, the CBDC is in progress. Right? Including Trinidad is probably the most behind the Caribbean islands. If you all, many people here have ties in the Caribbean, jam them with Jamaica, right? The sand dollar in the Bahamas. The Eastern Caribbean is called, okay, somebody help me, Pastor. Let's see, man, help me. What's called in St. Vincent? In the Eastern Caribbean.
No,
that's the regular currency. The CBDC is called D something. Okay, let me be.
I'll check it this.
Right? It's D something. So the fact is, it's there already. In fact, they are lauding the Caribbean as being so advanced in pushing the CBDC storage. Jamaica has legalized it. They said the Bahamas is probably one of the best in terms of having it running. Trinidad is a little behind, right? But what we don't, a lot of people might not know is that Trinidad is currently testing the CBDC, right? But they're doing it in a very smart, underhand way. They're doing it in the same way that the US is doing it. The US Federal Reserve and our central bank is not testing it directly themselves. What they have done, they have outsourced it, so you have private companies testing it.
But our people went to Grenada and parents with children in Grenada were able to buy school books, do everything through the phone, and the student guardians and the number, etc. A year ago.
Yeah, I know it's in Grenada, yes.
We went
I don't know who did it. I don't know who did it, but I know in Grenada they can.
The company responsible for that in Trinidad is PESH.
Right, PESH. And that's exactly. PESH actually has been running a pilot here from March 5th, from this month. March 5th, but we did it last month, right?
So why
PESH Limited.
Why not the Prime Minister is not doing it here?
He's not doing it here, but we are testing it here. PESH Limited is testing it, and in fact, they just had a second company that they brought on board to join in the testing. Now, when they do it that way, and those private companies fine-tune, it's easy then for the government to say, okay, well, we go in this one. And that's what the US is doing. The US has tested FedNow. FedNow is their CBDC. They initially said it would have been brought, we would have done it effective next year, 2024, but they have since brought up the date to July of this year, right? So the FedNow is being tested, and once all the kinks are cleared up, it's just a matter for the Federal Reserve to say, okay, we are going to do with this, right? Jamaica has it up and running, right? So what I'm saying is that these things are in place. They are not made public, but they're in place.
Rhonda, right now, I saw a TikTok recently where a guy went to buy a burger with cash and he was refused.
Yeah.
he said they don't take cash
Yes.
anymore.
And actually,
Where I used to work Garden Life, they don't, an agent cannot bring in cash. You have, they give you an POS device and you have to swipe a card. And whoever paid for whatever, you have to swipe a card. So no agent can no longer write a receipt and collect cash from a client. Right? Everything now is cashless.
and in fact, in the States, it is law, and you could go on the Federal Reserve website and check all these things I'm telling you, right? Nobody has to accept cash in the States. It is not law to accept cash, right? You cannot make a merchant accept cash. It is up to them if they choose to accept cash or not, right? In fact, some states are now trying to make it law that you must accept cash. Why? Because there's a large portion of their citizens who are unbanked, right? They don't have bank accounts. And if you outlaw, if merchants say, I'm not taking cash, you'll be taking card, these people will not be able to conduct any financial transactions. So a lot of places are now trying to make it law that you must, if you live in this state, that you have to take cash. But there's no requirement to take cash. There's not a elephant on the back and then.
Because I got some years ago where Germany had the World Cup. I can't remember how long ago that was. What they did, put a chip in your hand where, let me say you want to spend 5,000 is the limit, you want to spend that for the day, you put your money on the chip. So when you go anywhere, you just scan your hand and you pay for it.
Right. And that's also.
That was prototype back then.
And that's also one of the reasons why they say that they want to make cash more legal in some places. Because for the poorer people, when you put money on that chip, it kind of ties up your money because you're not going to probably go and spend all at the same time. Whereas the more affluent people able to afford that, the poorer ones wouldn't, which is why they say they want to make cash legal in some of the states. But you're right, that's how they're doing it now, right? Yes?
Yeah, but there is such feeling that forget that money issue really is. And Bible prophecy tells us in the United States is the lamb like beast speaking with the mouth of a dragon. We need to follow church. Two foundations. One was the occult, and the next one was Christianity. Washington again was Freemasonry. There wasn't Christianism. So it was built on these two foundations. Which one do you think will be ruling today? Christianity or the occult? You know the US dollar is just toilet paper. It has no value whatsoever. Look at the US dollars that they have. Legal tender. It's just toilet paper. What makes it important? The United States is a powerful country. And the US of A calling the shots. They can do whatever they want because their dollar still has. It's the trading dollar. I used to ship things out of Trinidad, and businessmen in Trinidad are asking for the US dollar.
And that's why it's still a
If they
use.
can't do business.
No, because it has people have confidence in it
Confidence
still. Right?
in
And
the
that's the
US
whole
dollar.
idea behind it.
That's why the rest of the world, if the United States sneezes in the morning, 3/4 of the world will touch the
Right, coming to your other hand. But the thing is, and it's not good now, it's not confidence. People use the money because they have confidence that it's going to, that it will be accepted and it will, that they will be able to continue trading with it. Which is why now, if you recognize what is happening in the States now, the confidence is starting to crumble.
They come with it.
Right? Exactly, because there's a means to an end. I'm coming, right? One and two. The thing about it is, if you have to bring in a new currency, then you have to get rid of the old one.
Yes.
Right? You must get rid of it. How do you get rid of it? You have to break people's confidence. As confidence in a system which ends, then they would move on to the new one. So you would find that in last month, there were, in fact, just about 2-3 weeks ago, the banks have started to fail in the States. Right? They started with SBB, right, Signature Valley Bank, followed by Signature Bank, followed by First Republic Bank, followed by, and just recently, the First Crypto Bank is in trouble. Now, think about it. If people feel that the fiat dollars, the regular banks are failing, people start to move now to the crypto. But when the crypto bank fails, then they recognize now where do I put, or who do I trust? And this is where the government is going to step in and say, well, listen, we now want you to be able to your money, to keep your money. So we will now do the cryptocurrency where we have the controls to make sure that you don't lose. Because let me tell you, the amount of money that was lost and transferred in a matter of trillions of dollars were transferred out of banks. So now all is smart. Now what the government did, and I'm coming to you, Boja, the government is, Tigan is so smart. Tigan is so smart. Because, now remember, these people are being the ultimate person who is guiding all this is Satan himself, right?
That's the point we
The
are
thing about it is, if you just, you don't want to, if I just crash 2 or 3 banks, then it means that the people in those banks will suffer. But if I crash but give back, people confidence come back, right? And then I crashed again. But if you feel that anytime the bank crashed, the government would have bailed me out, won't you have some confidence that my money will in the bank? I am comfortable. I got to go. I'll come to you, right? So that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to have this confidence level so much that when they finally pull the rug out from under you, everything will be good. And then they offer you this alternative, this CbdC, where I exchange now your fiat currency for the central bank digital currency, which is now under control. But the thing is, it's under control. Hello. If you can remember.
So what is happening is that a lot of people, cryptocurrency has been a craze for the last maybe 10 years or so, right? And a lot of people have been depositing their money thinking that it's safer with crypto and it allows them to do certain things, move money across borders. People involved in drugs have been using it, but it's not something that any government can look into or to examine or control, right? And that was the fear that governments had about cryptocurrency. But the government, these same governments believe in the blockchain technology, which they are using for the Cbdcs, right? They believe in the technology, but the crypto was meant to fail. You see, if you put in billions and trillions into that, and somebody take it away from you, right? While you might end up with nothing, they want the money. And that is what is paying for our wars today, right? So when we, and this is, you see, there's a master at the head of all these things, right?
Yes,
all this war in Ukraine, right? And BRICS companies, right? We're talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, these BRICS nations now. And what they are doing, giving the US dollar a competition because they are removing the currency from the being pegged to the US dollar. They are now trading in the yuan, right? So you find now that people are losing confidence, and it's very likely can happen that the US dollar can fail as early as this year.
No, Christian, I can't put wrong.
Okay, just now.
Rwanda made